the reason why I'm talking about this is not just because it's fucking drama. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there's also this like far-reaching consequence where a lot of these fucking people that, you know, watch these guys see only one side of the story, a very falsely and narrowly focused, wrong-sided attitude, like wrong opinion on the matter from dudes that don't fucking have any knowledge on the issue whatsoever. Holy, that is so crazy. Last night I watched Noah Samson's latest video. His latest video was titled, I forget what it was. I think it was the YouTubers who backed the genocide. And I posted about it on my Instagram and I said, hey, this is a really good video. You guys should watch it because I think it is a really good video. It's a really informative video. It's not just like drama. I know that people will look at it and go, oh, that's just a drama video. It's not. It actually carefully details all of the ways in which Israel has facilitated this genocide in Gaza. And not only does it feature all of that, but it also then shows the many ways in which a lot of like centrist slop tubers who have a lot of prominence, especially as a collective, like who have a lot of range amongst a broad audience of relatively apolitical people who aren't really paying close attention to stuff. You know, basically those guys, I think those guys taking a position, taking this like nihilistic centrist position on Israel by never really talking about Israel directly or never really talking about like the genocide and the things that have taken place, but instead covering it from the angle of like drama and what content creators are saying and how the content creators that are on the pro-Palestinian side being bad, like that, I think plays a very sinister and cynical role in also doing propaganda. And I think people need to understand that. So it goes beyond drama. It's just like, if you just simply cast it aside as drama, you miss the forest for the trees. It's important for people to recognize exactly what was going on there. I had covered this before. I covered Mudahar's like statements about this before. I didn't even know he had made one. Most of the time, a lot of content creators who are in like the tech space or in like random spaces, like they don't necessarily come out and make like big, bold, declarative statements about their politics or ongoing issues. But I think one of the ways in which like Keemstar adjacent drama slop YouTubers engage in this issue is by taking an even more sinister approach where they have no interest in understanding the actual impact, the actual issue, and instead they have all the interest in farming it and basically saying what their position is without actually saying what their position is. And I think that that is what a lot of these guys did. Some of them obviously openly and actively said they were pro-genocide, like Destiny. Other Destiny dick riders also played along with that. And then there's like, you know, someone like Mudahar who did the lightest version of this. Basically, the only impact that he had was to say, I'm apolitical, both sides are kind of crazy, but the pro-Palestinian side in America, they're so bad. You know, there is no middle ground when it comes to genocide, obviously, as you guys know. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because it ties perfectly back to all of the deplatforming efforts that are taking place right now online against people who have criticized Israel. And you're basically joining in on that pile-on when your only output in terms of talking about this genocide is to simply say the pro-Palestinian guys are actually really bad. So he had this to say this morning. I get watching other people's videos is all you're really good at, but try vetting out slander before promoting Hasan the Hun. I have never defended or backed the Israeli genocide on innocent Gazans. Never will I ever. To which I responded with, in your only vid on Gaza, you admit to not knowing about politics. You try to cover Israel-Palestine as drama slop for centrist audience. You defend Asmongold for inferior culture / genocide comment, then attack pro-Palestinian voices. So I guess you just wanted the ad revenue then. I then followed it up by saying, Muda is a particularly insane case because he's a victim of the same right-wing mobs he often farms in his videos. He literally left Twitter because of the vicious racism. And here he is back again, only to farm more. Motherfucker, you went on Hajj. They hate you more than they hate me. which is true. He literally had to leave Twitter, and it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs when a brown Muslim content creator has to fucking leave a social media platform because people are so vicious and so relentlessly attacking him, not on the virtues of his thoughts or his ideas or his opinions either, just simply because he's Indian. Okay? It's completely unacceptable. It's disgusting. I've talked about it quite extensively. Now, having said that, part of the reason why he came back was to unironically, play the role of one of the good ones. That's what's so crazy about it. Like he will act like he will say, I don't have a political opinion, but then also turn around and demonstrate a political opinion that, of course, is trying to position himself as like a centrist person. Okay? As a centrist person, angling it from the perspective of drama. To which he also responded, by the way, in your video on Gaza. He said, yes, I do admit to not being an expert on the topic. Didn't cover it as drama since it isn't one. Serious situation with dead people and attacks happening every day. I just don't downplay rapes and sugarcoat violent organizations like you. Also didn't defend Asman in vid. Now, what's interesting about that response is it basically demonstrates the exact thing that I'm talking about. It also is a lie. He did cover it as simply drama. Because I responded back to him saying, I didn't cover it as drama with this tweet. Yeah, I don't do this, and then ends up doing it. I responded with, we were a year into a genocide here. This was your only video on the topic. It downplayed and ran defense for Asman's takes, while the bulk of your commentary revolved around how evil the pro-Palestinian streamers were from clips you compiled off snark subreddits. 990,000 views, though. And then I said, just going to leave this here again. For 16 months, there's been a genocide going on in Gaza. Israel has the same ambitions for the West Bank, which has been under apartheid occupational rule since 1967. If your advocacy is slandering and deplatforming pro-Palestinian voices, just admit you love Israel and its genocide. We know, right? Yes, I gave it a self-like this morning. Suck my dick. I was retweeting it. So my point here is that these guys, I think, thought that they can get away with doing this shit. And for much of the time frame in my coverage on Israel-Palestine, I haven't really hyper focused on like a bunch of these drama slob tubers. I think Bad Empanada has done a decent job. Bad Empanada has done a decent job of like going after some of these guys, at least like by breaking down the lack of arguments that they're posting on their videos, right? Because normally you would think like, okay, these guys don't have any sort of serious interest or whatever. Why are you talking about them? They're silly. They're they're irrelevant, right? Like real things are happening in the world and these guys are relevant. They're not. Because as a collective, they have the capacity to basically fucking inform a lot of uninformed people. And what are they using? What are they doing with the influence that they have? They're deluding people into thinking suspiciously that all of the fucking pro-Palestinian people, all the pro-Palestinian advocates are just like scary racist monsters or whatever. They're scary racist monsters that are undermining rapes. Like that right there. Didn't cover it as drama since it isn't one. I just don't downplay rapes and sugarcoat violent organizations like you. That right there is a political statement. And it is one devoid of any information whatsoever. And yes, in terms of Mudahar, he's an interesting person because I used to talk to him all the time. I used to get help from him on like Steam Deck related stuff. And then he started orbiting Destiny around the same time that Destiny was like becoming super pro Israel. And he noticeably was quiet on this issue. You know, he had more tweets about this. Not sure what he meant by your kind, though. Maybe you know. Yeah, like you are not pro free speech. You're not an honest person. And all you care about either in this situation, all you care about is either making money, okay? All you care about is either making money and farming this as like angling this in the least contentious way possible and make money off the backs of people fucking dying, babies getting murdered every single day by Israel. it's either something that you're not genuinely interested in, or B, it's worse, you actually do like Israel, but you're too ashamed to admit it. And I don't think he likes Israel and he's too ashamed to admit it. I think he's just like not very knowledgeable and you know, wanted to make a statement about it, but take a very centrist position. And because he can't say something directly about Israel or Gaza, because then everyone's going to eat his ass alive, all he does is go after people who do demonstrate the courage to talk about these issues. Meanwhile, all he does is fucking basically farm clout and money off of it. Yeah, it's almost as if the bulk of the commentary matched what the video was titled / centered about. Twitch allowing violent and unfiltered rhetoric from your camp on its platform. The clips were actually sourced from the creators who streamed them. No, they weren't. You fucking took clips that were directly out of context from fucking Destiny's subreddit. That's where a lot of this stuff comes from. It's okay. You don't have to admit it, but we know that that's what a lot of slop tubers do. It's not just Destiny subreddit either. They literally... Most people that make these kinds of like drama-centered videos unironically just source it off of fucking Reddit. That's it. They literally go off of Reddit comments. That's the game out here. That is the level of research that most people dedicate to T channels and drama channels in general. But yeah, it's notice how there is no statement here, okay? Notice how there is no like evidence here. The evidence is Twitch is allowing violent and unfiltered rhetoric, or you're downplaying rapes. Like, did this person read the UN report? Did he even watch like the Sheryl Sandberg atrocity propaganda flick and then develop his opinion on this issue? Did he read any Israeli newspapers or American newspapers on the matter? And that's how he came up with this idea that like mass rapes had taken place, because he read the New York Times screams without words propaganda piece that was immediately undermined, by the way. Like, did he do any of that? Is that why he has this position? No, he has no position. He's just repeating something he saw on Reddit. That's my point. And that's what's really frustrating about this issue, is that these guys try to maintain this like nihilistic centrist perspective, but they constantly attack one fucking side while also lightly criticizing the other side. Here, look at this. Look at the situation. Asmongold quite literally said Palestinians are inferior culture and genocide is appropriate.
Everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
Ooh, god damn. Bro, what the fuck? Holy shit. Dude, he went in. He's fucking... Ooh, goddamn. I don't know where the full clip is. I guess it's... So, what the fuck is the... So, who did he say? Did he say the Palestinians were inferior cultures or something? I mean, like, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody should sit there and fucking be like, oh, I guess a whole group of people deserve to be genocided. Like, at the end of the day, that doesn't make you any better.
Damn, thanks, man. That's a good take, right? That's a good take. He's obviously being very critical of Asmongold here. Is it matching what Asmongold is saying? Not necessarily.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't really...
This is the problem that I have with so many fucking centrists, okay? They will always defend free speech on the principles when it comes to like some of the most insane right-wing shit you've ever heard, okay? Nazis protesting on college campuses. Not saying Mudahar is doing this. I'm just broadly saying a lot of fucking centrists, a lot of fence sitters, whether it be people like Tim Pool who presented themselves as such, or a lot of these fucking drama slop tubers, they will only talk about free speech when it's like video game titties getting smaller, or when it's like not being able to say a slur on a fucking social media platform. That's the only thing that is like the defense of free speech. When there is an actual issue of the highest political severity, a genocide that is ongoing, and there are active deplatforming initiatives, they will literally fucking stand right there and advocate for that deplatforming to take place. They will then never turn around and do commentary on a severe violation of the First Amendment, like with the Mahmoud Khalil situation, where the American government decided and openly stated that they have no evidence that this person had violated the law at all, that they had actually black bagged them from his fucking house with the goddamn Gestapo from Columbia University and shipped them to Louisiana overnight with the purpose of revoking his green card and deporting him only because he engaged in a protest that they did not like. He didn't violate any rules. He didn't violate any laws. He was the lead negotiator with Columbia University. Think about that, man. Like, I'm done with this shit. If these guys had any sort of honesty, any sort of integrity, any sort of genuine care for freedom of speech, for example, freedom of expression, they would probably spend a good deal of their time criticizing the Trump administration. He's also double cut because he's Canadian on top of everything else. Because like Donald Trump is actively talking about annexing Canada too. That's the other side of the story. But hey, what the fuck do I know?
Make you any better than the shitty party out there? But I assume he's probably referring, if I'm being very charitable, to like.
I mean, why he's being very charitable, Asman? Was that same charitably extended to someone like myself or someone like Frogan? No, it wasn't. Because being a centrist only means, or being apolitical only means you always end up on one side of the issue, and that side is the right-wing side.
Like gay people who like ally with that. It's like, okay, there's got to be a longer clip than this, dude. Like I feel like there's at least like a fucking 30 seconds from the beginning that I'm missing here that I just have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you what his take was on.
But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're, oh my God, I want my Camaro, no student loans. F you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back in America.
Oh, how out of touch do you gotta be? How privileged do you gotta be to sit there on your ass in California and just badmouth the people that take a bullet for your freedoms every single day? The most outrageous shit you'll ever hear. Like, downright, just hateful rhetoric.
Yeah, now, didn't need context for that, baby. No context necessary. Oh, hell yeah. Loud and proud, USA will put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. And tell Uncle Sam, you're the man. Statue of Liberty came shaking up his, and the whole world came crashing down on me.
Now, obviously, the people who are in the military were like, whoa, we're getting that Camaro. I have never in a million years met somebody, and I've met.
That's the funniest thing, is just like, because the Camaro line is such a funny meme. In the video, he defends Asma by saying he's probably talking about extremist Muslims. I know. When he gets the full context of the situation, this is how he responded to it. Okay. Like, we covered this before. I covered this on the stream because I couldn't believe it. Like, I was genuinely shocked. I was like, damn, dude, like, that's how fucking hard you want to suck off like alt-right weirdos. Like loser ass dudes. That's how hard you want to fucking suck these losers off. You want to farm them that hard. I get it. You're like a tech YouTuber, but it's crazy.
And I feel like I need to clarify. I'm not somebody that is afraid to say that genocide is wrong. I think that there is an actual case of genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world.
Very serious situations.
Now, at the same time, these are situations that involve a group of people, Muslims and Jews, that have effectively been at each other's throats for not.
One could say that the Palestinians are experiencing what could be considered the first steps of contextually appropriate framing of genocide, but also, Jews and Muslims, they've just been at it for centuries.
And I don't want to jump and make this like a super political video because, again, I'm not equipped to even discuss this kind of stuff, but I am.
You're 30 minutes in. What are you doing? Yeah, that's what's so frustrating. It's like, dude, if you're not knowledgeable on this issue that is a fucking very serious issue, okay, then why the fuck are you making a video on the issue from the framework of drama while also simultaneously coming down harder on the fucking pro-Palestinian advocates than you do on the side that said genocide is fine, the culture is inferior? And then turn around and say, well, they've just been fighting each other for a millennia. It's bullshit. It's not correct. It's incorrect information. It is ahistorical. And it unironically feeds into this false notion that, like, it's just Jews and Muslims fighting. Like, get the fuck out of here. I can't stand these dudes, man. I can't stand motherfuckers who just act like this is just like a Muslims versus Jews type situation. Like, my point is this, okay? A lot of people will yell, or a lot of people, I think, in the beginning, in the first couple of months especially, but like definitely over the last 16, 17 months, have been yelling at their content creators to make a statement about this, okay? And it's understandable. You want to apply pressure to the government. You want to keep protesting. You want to get the word out. You want to bring awareness to the situation. And in that process, you want your content creators that you love, content creators with a lot of influence, to come out and make a statement. And you can say, like, I think genocide is unconscionable. I'm not very well equipped to talk about this. That's one thing, right? But like, the moment that you come out and actually try to do this fucking cowardly thing where you're like, I'm pro-Palestine, but I won't really say it fully, but I think genocide is bad. But also all of these pro-Palestinian advocates, in an effort, while there is a deliberate effort to try and deplatform every single fucking pro-Palestinian voice, okay, turning around and being like, yeah, these guys are too radical for my taste. Yeah, you are taking a position. You're taking a cowardly position, and I am infinitely more charitable to people if they admit that they're coming at this from a position of not being knowledgeable, but then they fucking step aside. They don't try to like enter the fray of political commentary with no info whatsoever and then turn around and say, I don't really know anything, but these guys seemingly are really radical. Well, if you don't know anything, then shut the fuck up. Why are you taking a bold stance like this then? You know? Do you think that the 8-second clips that you posted are reflective of my actual fucking commentary on this issue? I've done hundreds of videos with actual fucking professors, journalists, victims of genocide. It's so ridiculous that like all of that is just inconsequential. Israeli academics, Arab academics, like, what are we talking about? What are we doing here? And then it's just, all it takes is like one fucking asshole to be like, yeah, this seems radical to me. It just pisses me off so much. It's like, don't assume a fucking bold stance like this. Don't take a bold stance like this. Seems like you have a firmly held conviction on the matter. These guys are too radical. When all is said and done, when the dust is settled, is that what you want your primary takeaway from this subject matter to be? We have a finite amount of time on this earth, okay? On God's green fucking earth. We only have a limited amount of time here, okay? We are going to perish one day. In that finite amount of time, you and I, Mudahar and myself, we were fortunate enough and privileged enough to have a platform with profound influence, okay? Is that what you want your only takeaway to be from this moment? I'm not pro-Israel. You know, I don't think genocide is appropriate, but these people who are actually calling out this genocide are getting attacked, and I am joining the people that are attacking those people. It's fucking ridiculous. It makes me so mad. It is so cowardly. All he could have done is maybe even shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know why he thinks he's dipping his toes back into this. Okay? I don't want to talk about that topic. Creator is pro-Israel. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Muda going after Twitch here when Destiny and Ethan started brigading advertisers together. Exactly. And it's also the kind of shit that like a lot of these apolitical content creators wouldn't stand for normally. Okay? It's a lot of stuff that these apolitical content creators normally wouldn't stand for if it was happening to any other fucking content creator. You want to know what I mean by that? Like, if any other content, these guys were attacking Ethan when Ethan was like calling out Keemstar's advertisers, because they were like, you can't fuck up the bag. You're going to fuck up the bag for everybody. But hey, God forbid, dude, when deplatforming, you're always anti-deplatforming until it's a motherfucker who you don't like or is saying some shit that you don't actually like. I hate that. I hate how cowardly that shit is. Have some fucking conviction, dude. Yeah, he's just framing drama for views from his right-wing gamer audience. I don't think you should think too much on this. I'm not. I know that is the statement. I know that is what's going on. I don't like that. I don't like that these guys' only politics is basically so many slop tubers online their only frame of reference for politics is just like, this guy is an avatar for all things progressive. A lot of people fucking hate him for that reason. I'm just going to shit on that guy. And it's a cowardly way to say your position without saying your position. Okay. Oh, I'm a liberal, but honestly, I don't really like this guy who is seemingly far too progressive for me. Guys, I'm one of the good ones. Come on, I'm a centrist. And it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to see that shit. It's cowardly. It's infinitely better if you just don't even entertain this stuff at all. You don't bring it up. You don't get into it. You don't throw your hat in the fucking ring. It's all copy paste too. It's all copy paste. It's all ridiculous. Shame on Mudahar. And he is like the least offensive person out of all of these. It's just very frustrating regardless. Also, one final word on this whole thing. I don't understand why you bring up my Hajj while being the most Muslim cosplayer I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm such a Muslim cosplayer. What the fuck am I doing that's a Muslim cosplayer? It's Ramadan. I'm fucking drinking coffee right now. I've never cosplayed being a Muslim, okay? I was born a Muslim to a Muslim family in a Muslim nation, and my opinions on Islam have evolved throughout fucking time. Just because I defend Muslims and their right to practice their fucking religion doesn't mean I'm a Muslim cosplayer. You know who's a Muslim cosplayer? Andrew fucking Tate. That's a Muslim cosplayer. I've been pretty open about my perspective in terms of like how I view religion, my religion, and what I think of it all. I am culturally Muslim in the same way that like someone will say they're Jewish, they're culturally Jewish, or someone in America who is not fucking really Christian at all will say they're culturally Christian. That's it. My existence, especially in the Western world, is a way to get Islamophobic Americans to understand that being Muslim doesn't necessarily fucking mean that you're, strapping a bomb to your chest and blowing yourself up while saying Allahu Akbar, because that was the fucking primary way that these guys operated. They think every Muslim is like that. It has nothing to do with Islam. And the reason for why I do that is so that people are more understanding. The reason why I do that, and the reason why I explain this every day, is so that people don't come after you with Islamophobic nonsense. It's all good, though. I will still obviously defend Mudahar against the psychotic fucking racist attacks he has to withstand on a daily fucking basis. But I will tell you, I will tell you right now, okay? Just positioning yourself alongside Keemstar and all these fucking drama slop tubers that will write 11 million articles about like, this is the day Hasan finally gets canceled, okay? Doing that shit is not going to save you from these people that literally think you are lesser than them because they're fucking racist, okay? That's it. You will never be one of the good ones. Like, they will not see you as one of the good ones, okay? It's so sad. And yes, it is just popularity and money for a lot of people. This is the job. This is the bread and butter for a lot of people. What's your best video attacking the right wing? I'd love to check it out. Yeah, HasanAbi subscribes to leftist nonsense where everyone fits in the categories. Everyone's ranked on a race-based hierarchy. Like, what the fuck is this person saying? Who is this person? This reply under his tweet literally proves your point. You are getting cooked. That's why... You are getting cooked. That's what you get for not taking a clear stance. Oh my God. Normally us right wingers would side with you, but you decide to attack us as well. So go fuck yourself. Yeah, there you go. Like, this is it. This is the audience that you're farming actively. Anyway, I just wanted to briefly talk about that little back and forth that took place and help you understand that the reason why I'm talking about this is not just because it's fucking drama or because I'm like fighting back against people that are engaging in this like smear campaign. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there's also this like far-reaching consequence where a lot of these fucking people that, watch these guys see only one side of the story, a very falsely and narrowly focused, wrong-sided attitude, like wrong opinion on the matter, from dudes that don't fucking have any knowledge on the issue whatsoever. Okay? And then their fan bases also develop the wrong opinions. Their fan bases develop like idiotic fucking opinions. Like that's why you hear so many people repeat these silly ass takes left and right. Oh yeah, it's just like Muslims and Jews fighting, right? I don't get it. This Hasan guy and all these other pro-Palestinian content creators, they're all kind of radical, right?
Showing these people and promoting them in this incredibly positive light when there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in harm's way, especially people that have nothing.
Yeah. The state that is implementing a blockade on the Red Sea in an effort to stop the genocide is actually putting people in harm's way, not the fucking state that is doing a genocide, and not America and all of the other fucking coalition forces that started blowing up Yemen because they decided to fucking stop ships from going through the Red Sea. Because that's the craziest part, because it's like, how are you gonna fucking sit there? How are you going to fucking sit there? And yeah, the point I was gonna make is, the point I was making is like, you're admitting that it's a fucking genocide, but then you're also saying, but everyone resisting against that genocide is completely inappropriate. They're all terrorists, pirates, rapists, monsters. Get the fuck out of here. Like, these two opinions are so stupid. So what's the alternative? Seemingly, one country is doing a genocide, and that's wrong, but also everyone else that's resisting against it is bad. So what should people do? Just like fucking eat it? Should they just die? Should people just fucking die? That's the best way to resist against a genocide, is just like die. That's it. And then we here in the Western world can feel better about our support. Just die quietly. Don't even die in a way that's like public too, because then you're making Israel look bad. I hate this fucking both sides nonsense. Like, you're not making a brilliant stance, and you're not even on both sides either. You're just saying that while simultaneously leaning heavily on the side that is doing the atrocity. Because the reality of the matter is, silence in the face of injustice is siding with the oppressor. If you are quiet when there is a genocide going on, then you're technically saying, well, this doesn't reach my standard. It doesn't, it doesn't actually meet the fucking standard where I have to make a statement about it, because it doesn't hurt me or my feelings all that bad. So it's wild to me that these guys will also simultaneously be like, well, there is a genocide going on, but also every single fucking group resisting against this in any way, shape, or form they can are also in the wrong, and they're bad. So what's the fucking alternative? What's the alternative? Yeah, if you ask what's the alternative, he'll just say he doesn't know about politics to know the answer, but that won't stop him from grandstanding ignorant critiques. He'll dish out to people who do know more than him. Exactly. Because they wanted to enforce some kind of penalty for the genocide that Israel was conducting. Oh my God. Thank you, Mudahar. I'm glad that you arrived at a reasonable conclusion. Imagine nearly a century of ethnic cleansing to get both sides by an enlightened Western centrist. Yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If an elephant has his foot on the tail of a mouse and you say that you are neutral, the mouse will not appreciate your neutrality. Desmond Tutu. Who's Mudahar help? He's some fucking tech YouTuber who has like an audience of sweaty gamer bros. Disinformation tracker responded and said, you whitewashed and justified Asmagol's statement about Palestinians deserving genocide due to their inferior culture. Then you vilified Ansar Allah's Red Sea blockade, which was among the least bloody tactics available to pressure Israel and the U.S. to stop the genocide. Apologize and go back to playing video games. Quit crying when people call out your foul and sloppy genocide support. Being dumb is not an excuse for spreading pro-genocide propaganda while tens of thousands of people are dying in a Holocaust your country is helping commit. Well, he's Canadian. I guess they also are helping, though, to be fair. Claiming you didn't know is not you didn't know better is not an excuse. You don't mindlessly pontificate on the extermination of another people. You don't condemn people who fight and die to push back against the genocide. You treat genocide like your typical brain-dead gamer rage bait. Yeah. That's what's so fucking annoying. Like, they so shamelessly farm this as though it's fucking drama, as though it's an opportunity to make money and gain some fucking clout. Jesus Christ, dude. Muda should stick to creator drama. He's not sharp enough for political commentary. No, but that's the problem. Also, some aspects of political commentary cannot be covered like it's fucking content creator drama. That's the point. And these guys do it all the time. And they do it shamelessly. And because they establish themselves in a center-right perspective, they can get away with saying whatever the fuck they want from a position of authority when there's no underlying information, no evidence. That's what's so goddamn frustrating about this process too, where you could just say whatever the fuck you want. You can lie every day. You can just admit that you don't know anything. And basically, as long as you are attacking the people that are going against the grain, as long as you are actively criticizing people who are stepping out of line, and stepping out of line in this instance would basically be saying anything about Israel that can be deemed too radical, then, you know, you're good. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. That's it. You will always be able to have a career as long as you are siding with the more powerful institution, okay? If you side with America, if you side with Israel, it literally does not matter. Mudahar was in Dee's Discord giggling like a schoolgirl, like a hoe, after Dee came out and publicly said even nuking Gaza won't be considered a genocide. I don't think he even made a video about the sex-based allegations yet. Yeah, it's just weird because, like, even people who cover drama have been noticeably absent. I have noticed that. There's been like 3 or 4 videos. Can you imagine if a similar situation happened to me, how many fucking videos would be made on that process? But none of those drama slop tubers, with the exception of like 1 or 2, have made any videos whatsoever on their friend who they like being pursued for actively filming some of his orbiters that he called orbiters in the act of having sex with one another and then distributing that pornographic material without the consent of the parties involved. Did Asmongold cover that? It's just weird. I don't know. It's just, it kind of feels like these guys have, considered me a much worse person than that for quite a long time. I wonder what it is. I wonder what is stopping them from covering this issue. I think there is no better way to understand someone's political position than what they choose to fucking cover and what they choose not to cover, okay? Even Epstein's friends burned bridges and made videos regarding the crimes committed. These centrists are at the next level. Yes, because the centrists themselves are maintaining this. The centrists themselves are unironically maintaining this posture. They're the ones who are protecting him because they like him, because they think he's fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? Terrorist simps are out of control by Asmongold 6 hours ago. Talking about Mahmoud Khalil, by the way. Mr. Free Speech Defender. Asmongold thinks when boobs get pixelated, or when boobs are like a little bit smaller in a fucking video game, that's the worst thing that's ever happened to free speech. That's the grossest anti-free speech crime that Sony could commit on Stellar Blade. Asmongold literally went after those fucking petitions that freak-ass Grums made. He defended that shit. He hyped it up. But God forbid, when the American state actually fucking puts down the hammer and decides, we don't like what you have to say, you're going to get deported, then he goes terrorist simps. It's awesome. It's based. God damn, dude. Holy shit.